Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. Hey, I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Sistas. This is season 7. This is episode 11 and the mid-season finale. I know. I know some of y'all is mad because y'all saw the ending, but it's drama, y'all. I get it. I know how much we've been so invested in Zatima, but it's like, ugh. But anyways, I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. Also, subscribe to my channel, and you can leave your comments below. Please stay tuned to many wonderful things that are happening on this channel. As far as my music side is coming out pretty soon, so stay on the lookout for that. All right, so we start off where we left off, where Gary threw Penelope to the ground, and she's bleeding. We're seeing that there's a cleanup crew for Gary. As far as cleaning up the blood, we don't know where Penelope is. Is she dead or alive? And then next thing you know, we see Andy open her eyes like it was a dream. So my question is, was Andy dreaming as to what happened to Penelope, or having a dream about Gary and Penelope? Because as of yet, she hasn't said anything to Jordan concerning who Gary really is. So I'm lost in regards to that, because it looks like possibly if it was an Andy dream, then Penelope didn't actually have that fatality. We shall see. All right, so the next day, of course, Andy and Jordan, they did their thing in the bed and all that good stuff. She comes in all rosy. How you doing? And Fatima already says, oh, I know that you done got your back broken. And then Fatima has to break the news that Miss Marie is in her office. And basically, Andy said, you could have gave me a heads up beforehand. But she has to go in there and deal with Marie. Marie feels like she can show up whenever she wants to because of who she is. And she needs everything done exactly as she needs it done. And that's just that on that. All right, so Sabrina, she calls Karen. They check up on each other. And she wants to do a mocktail at Rich's place. And Karen says, cool, as long as it's the sister circle and no one else, a.k.a. Fatima. Then, while they're talking, she has to get off the phone because her boss, India, comes in and says, hopefully you're not on company time. But anyway, she gives Sabrina the job that she's wanted, which was branch manager. So congratulations to you, Sabrina. Karen ends up calling Danny. And they're already going at each other. She already feels like Andy and Danny are disloyal for bringing Fatima around, blah, 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 blah. And basically, Danny don't give a about you, Miss Karen. She does mention that Sabrina has this mocktail and no Fatima. And Danny said, I will fight whoever I want to. And then Karen brings up an interesting question. She asks, what if I started being friends with Tony's ex-wife? And she said, good. I'm trying to find out some ways at how to deal with these children. And then she said, well, what about Cowboy's new wife that he left you for? At that point, it did hit a nerve for Danny. And they end up hanging up from each other. I think Karen ends up calling her a B. Of course, Pam is hearing part of the conversation. And Pam asks, are you okay? And Karen said, I am all right. Now get back to work. She yells at her. Then she changes her attitude and says, Pam, I'm sorry. And then Pam said, you never apologize for ever yelling at me. Oh, well, would you like to go out after work today? And she said, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, this is a way to do something against the sister circle, I guess, Danny, since she wants to invite people that she doesn't want. But I find it really crazy that Karen's about to use Pam. But I don't think Pam really minds it also. But hopefully she wakes up and not to be treated in kind of way. Pam, who I'm talking about. Zach comes to the office for Fatima, and he's brought breakfast. She's studying on company time, but she's hoping that she doesn't get caught doing that for law school. Danny calls and invites Fatima to the mocktail. Of course, she was like, I don't know, because I know probably Karen's going to be there. But Danny says, still come. After she hangs up, Zach finds out what she wants, and he says he thinks that you should go. And he thinks that this is a way to start bridging a relationship or something, a truce between you and Karen. And Fatima said, SWV and Escape would have to co-line a tour before that ever happens. I said, now that is cold-blooded murder, whoever wrote this line. But did anyone actually watch the SWV and Escape reality show that they had last year around this time? Man, that show was so cool. It was so authentic because you know that they were just acting themselves or being themselves, not acting themselves. Whew, I wish it was back again. Now we flip over to Andy and Miss Marie. She says Andy is combing through Mr. Willis's finances to see if he's hiding any money anywhere, and also wanting to put a gag order on him to not try to tell any type of secrets about Miss Marie. And she was like, do you think that really works? As far as this gag order, they could do what they want at this point, blah, 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 blah. Hayden comes over and jumps in and says, I've been looking at other information, and you have a pre- and post-nuptial agreement that's an ironclad trust, basically that will protect all your assets, the LLCs, any businesses that are a part of this trust. At this point, Miss Marie wants Hayden to be co-counsel with Andy. Andy does not want that, but this is what Marie has demanded. All right, so Maurice is at home, and he is sex talking with, I think his name was Clayton. I thought it was, but I forgot the boy's name. Hopefully he comes back next season so we can actually see him. Sabrina comes by and tells him that Paige, the white girl, she got fired. She's been doing some inappropriate things. But because since she got fired, they had no other choice but to give me the branch manager position. He congratulates her and then says, I got a confession to make. I did drop the dime that Paige was giving oral sex to customers on the outside of the bank. Oof. Lord Maurice. But anyways, Sabrina offers Maurice his job back. And so he could also stop with all that extra sex stuff that he had to do online. And he gladly accepts. So the plan worked. All right, so Pam goes to see Karen and asks for an extra half hour off for lunch. And she's like, what are you doing? You haven't even did anything today, but be on your phone for an hour about your from roots to riches. She says that she has to go to the bank to see Sabrina about opening a business account. She has to be a legit businesswoman, like her role model. And Karen said, who? Rihanna? And she said, no, you. And that takes Karen back. And then Pam gets up and she goes do what she needs to do. And then Karen goes and cries. So it looks like possibly there's going to be a Karen and Pam friendship developing, or whatever she really wants to use Pam for. Hopefully you don't hurt that girl, Karen, because of your own stuff you got going on. But we shall see. Danny and Tony. Tony comes by with a gift. It's a necklace. And she said, oh, you got it back from the children. And he said, no, I bought you a new necklace, and it's actually real. She loves it, and of course, you know how they do. They're ready to go have sex again. Andy is in the boardroom. Fatima's in there too. And Hayden comes in there and wants to speak to Andy. And basically, Fatima excuses herself. They go at it a little bit, and she knows, like, I don't understand why you shoehorned on my deal, but it did not have to happen. But I know that you're really after getting that partner seat, and it's not going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. They trade insults together on each other. All right, so Jordan, he's interviewing a potential person that's going to be on his staff. His name is Ethan, and white. He spent 5 years in the military. He's got a bachelor's in political science. And Jordan's trying to figure out, why would someone with an extensive background want to come and be with me? I mean, it's just city council right now. And he says he wants to be a part of the solution. He said he went to all of the BLM marches and all that. I hope Jordan actually does his homework on this dude, at least a little bit. A white guy who went all over the country for the BLM movement, sure. Anyways, he ends up hiring him, and really they didn't need the interview, but I guess he just did it formally. So after that, we go to Gary's office, and Gary said, did you do what I told you to do? He was talking with his assistant, and he said, I'll find out in just 1 second. The person that's on the phone that's calling him is Ethan. So Gary hired Ethan. So it's going to be an inside job to tear down this political journey that Jordan is on. All right, so Rich and Sabrina. Sabrina makes it to Rich's juice bar. Um, he also gives her a bag, one of those cachet bags that are in expensive for Sabrina, especially in this point in her life. I'm glad that he did something for her because I kind of feel like these women do stuff for these men all the time, and it's good to see some catering from the men. Let's see. All right, it's mocktail time. Danny comes in first. Fatima's next. Andy, who didn't know that Fatima was coming. And then Karen and Pam show up as Danny, Sabrina, and Andy are saying that, Fatima, you are part of the sister circle. And then Karen's like, oh, really? So it's uneasy and awkward at first, of course. They get into tasting the mocktails, and then Danny wants to put some alcohol. She's supposed to be standing in solidarity with Karen and also Sabrina, as she's trying to at least get some eggs ovulating and all that good stuff. Anyway, Sabrina took that time to say, well, you know that she's selfish, so she's always going to do something like this. Like, ooh, okay. So then she gets into it with Danny, and then Fatima starts talking about, well, Danny was like, why do you think I'm selfish? Because you decided to get knocked up by your ex-boyfriend, da-da-da-da-da. And Fatima ends up saying, we don't even know if he's the daddy or not, blah, blah, blah. Then Karen and Fatima start going at it a little bit. Pam jumps in a little bit. And Karen calling her a bee. And basically, you better watch them bees. But since Pam wants to jump in, now Fatima's like, look, I can't beat her ass while she's pregnant, but I can sure beat yours right now. Whatever, blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, Zach and Michael, they have a special moment. For the first time, we see Michael laugh and smile. I thought that was pretty cool. But anyways, back to them. Basically, she says, my friends have made it their choice, and they could have you. I don't even want this group anymore. And Sabrina was like, well, after Karen walked out with Pam, Sabrina was talking to Danny like, you don't want to fix this? And she said, F Karen. She always wants to make me be the evil person, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to do it for her. So it's F Karen. It looks like Danny and Karen aren't going to be friends anymore. Who knows what's going to happen? But obviously, since she has a friend that's going to be devoted to her, she'll probably be pretty well without them. Andy gets a call from Jordan. Have you heard from Penelope? She said, no, I think everything's okay. Possibly just, she's pregnant and it could really take her out for a day or whatever. She said he kind of agreed with Andy, but he said, still, I'm kind of worried, da-da-da-da-da. So then she just said, relax. If anything doesn't happen tomorrow, we'll call or whatever. So then Andy goes and grabs Fatima and says, I need your help with something. And Fatima says, I know that look. They go over to Gary's apartment or place or whatever, or office, and ask, what's going on? Where is Penelope at? I done warned her about your ass, and I need to know what you done did. Fatima pulls out her knife and wanted to know what's going on. We don't know where Penelope is right now. So that makes me question, did what happened at the end of the episode last week happen, or was that a part of Andy's dream? I guess we will find out when they do come back for their mid-season premiere, which will be May 22nd. I found that on tvline.com. They'll be back May 22nd. So we don't have that long to wait. I'm waiting for Zatima to come back. Right now on BET, they are airing season 2. They're on season 2B right now. So we probably got a good 2 to 3 more weeks left of that. And I'm hoping that's when Zatima's going to come back on BET+. But anyways, that's all I do have. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel and leave your comments below. So how mad are you? Oh, Sabrina found out that Zach is one of the baby's fathers. That was the other shocker. I forgot about that. I guess I just try to take it out of my mind. But how do you feel about this? It's drama. But let me know below in the comments. And until the next one, peace.